You are listening to Housekeepers Chat by the United States Department of Agriculture from 1927. Disclaimer: this is read from a historic archive document. Do not assume content reflects current scientific knowledge, policies, or practices. This broadcast was aired Tuesday, the 3rd of May of 1927.
Aunt Sammy is observing National Child Health Week by emphasizing the importance of the proper nutrition of growing children. All the information, including a menu and 2 recipes, approved by the United States Bureau of Home Economics.
"I did a good deed today, Aunt Sammy,"
remarked Billy as I helped him to bed last night. "That was nice," I said. "What did you do?"
"I knocked a tooth out for Robert."
"Why, Billy?" "Robert's mother will be over to see me first thing in the morning."
"No, she won't. It was a loose tooth, and Robert was going to the dentist anyway to have it pulled. We were wrestling, and I gave him a hard punch, and his tooth fell out. He was glad, 'cause now he won't have to go to the dentist. Aren't you proud of me, Aunt Sammy, for doing a good deed?"
"Speaking of teeth," said I, "did you brush yours tonight?"
"No,"
said Billy sleepily as he climbed out of bed.
"I almost wish I hadn't told you about my good deed, Aunt Sammy. Will I have to brush my teeth forever, as long as I live?"
"I hope," said I, "that you'll have teeth to brush as long as you live."
"So do I.
Said Billy as he went to bed for the second time.
But it sure makes me a lot of extra work."
I don't think Billy is really lazy, but he has the average child's dislike for wasting perfectly good time on hands and face and hair and teeth. As I have reminded him, it takes a good many years to build a set of teeth, and brushing is only a small part of it. Weren't you taught when you were a child that the proper use of the toothbrush would ensure perfect teeth? So was I. Now, children are taught that brushing helps preserve healthy teeth, but it takes proper foods to build them up. I was also taught something else which is fallacious, that eating candy and sweet stuff made teeth soft, and as a result, they decayed easily. Of course, too much sweet food may affect the teeth indirectly by dulling the appetite for necessary foods, but as a rule, it is not what a child eats but what he does not eat that causes most of the tooth trouble. Teeth become soft and decay easily because they do not get the food and the exercise that are needed to make them strong and hard. And what foods are necessary for good teeth? Most of those I mentioned yesterday. Milk and eggs, for instance. Milk and eggs contain a lot of tooth-building material. If children are not fond of milk as a beverage and eggs as a food, then these foods should be used in combination with others. In custards and milk soups and soufflés, omelets, cocoa, and all kinds of milk and egg desserts, as tapioca pudding, blancmange, and sponge cake, there are dozens of ways of using milk and eggs in the diet. It takes such minerals as calcium and phosphorus to make straight limbs as well as strong teeth, and these minerals are found in milk and eggs and fruits and vegetables. Vegetables differ considerably in the amount of minerals they contain, but use all kinds, especially the leafy ones, such as spinach, Swiss chard, dandelion greens, and cabbage, in addition to the root and tuber kinds. Then you may be sure your children are getting the minerals they need from vegetables. Whole grain cereals, such as oatmeal and graham bread, are also important sources of minerals. If you are interested in the subject of child nutrition, and if you are afraid your children are not getting the foods they should have, I wish you'd write to me. The Bureau of Home Economics has published some very good information on the subject of child nutrition. I am sure it will be helpful to you. Now, lest you think I've forgotten all about it, I'm going to broadcast a lunch or supper menu, which will be especially good for children and also good for the grown-ups. Ready with your pencils? Here's the menu: turnip or carrot custard, buttered asparagus, raisin bread, and cocoa. I'll give you 2 recipes, one for the custard and one for the raisin bread. Turnip or carrot custard first. 6 ingredients: 1 cup grated raw turnip or mashed cooked turnip, 2 eggs, 1 pint milk, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons melted butter, and 5 drops of Tabasco. 6 ingredients. I'll read them again. 1 cup grated raw turnip or mashed cooked turnip, 2 eggs, 1 pint milk, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons melted butter, and 5 drops of Tabasco. Beat the eggs lightly. Add the salt, the turnip, the milk, and the Tabasco. Stir in the melted butter and bake in a moderate oven in a pan surrounded by water until the custard is set in the center. Serve at once. Carrots may be used in the same way as turnip. The next recipe is for quick raisin bread. It's might good. 8 ingredients for quick raisin bread: 3 1/2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 4 teaspoons baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 4 tablespoons butter melted, 4 tablespoons sugar, 1 1/2 cups raisins chopped, and 2 eggs. I'll repeat the ingredients, 8 of them. 3 1/2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 4 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 4 tablespoons butter melted, 4 tablespoons sugar, 1 1/2 cups raisins chopped, and 2 eggs. Sift the salt, cinnamon, flour, and baking powder together. Beat the eggs and add the milk and sugar. Combine the liquid and the dry ingredients. Stir in the raisins until well mixed. Place the bread in a greased pan and let it stand for 10 minutes. Bake at a moderate temperature, about 350 Fahrenheit, for about 45 minutes. Let's repeat the menu now. Turnip or carrot custard, buttered asparagus, raisin bread, and cocoa. By the way, there are enough radio cookbooks on hand now to last for 2 or 3 weeks at least. Please send immediately if you want a copy of the book this month. If you wait too long, the present supply will be gone, and your book won't come till summertime.
This broadcast was researched and produced by Breakaway Empire LLC.